they also did erasing. So that was a necessary malacha for the building of the Mishkan. Writing and erasing. How do you build through writing? Because the boards, to put up the boards, had numbers on the boards. Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Dalet. So they would write numbers on the boards. So they knew which board goes to what. Some people have it in their sukkah. 1, 2, 3, so you can match up the boards. So they had in the Mishkan numbers, 1 Aleph over here, Beis over here, and they knew how to match the boards together. So the prohibition, according to the Torah, is writing 2 letters. If you write 2 letters, that's the prohibition of the Torah, because that's the way it was in the Mishkan. They had to write 2 letters, 1 on each board. Well, they wrote more than 2 letters, but by writing 2 letters, 1 on each board, that was an act, that was an accomplishment. Now you know this board matches to this board, but there was more than 2 letters. So Mina Torah, it's if you write 2 letters, rabbinically even 1 letter, that's why you can't write at all. And in the Mishkan, they also did erasing. What does erasing have to do with building? Anyone? If they made a mistake, they had to erase it and rewrite it. So the prohibition, according to the Torah, for erasing is if you erase with intention to rewrite. So if you're just erasing, that act is a rabbinic act. So biblically, the prohibition of erasing is if you're erasing with intention to rewrite. But practically, you can't erase at all. Now, there is types of erasing that are rabbinic in itself. That actual type of erasing, type of writing that is rabbinic in itself. Because let's say if I'm going to take the water, watching me? You watching? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Is this my mic?
Machim, I'm writing Machim, Liadus, Ma, Chad, Chaf, Vav. Is this called writing? You can see, you can't see, but you have any idea what I did over here?
Yeah.
You want to come take a look? Well, I wrote Machim, Mem, Chaf, Vav. Allowed to do this on Shabbos? It's called writing. It's rabbinically, according to the Torah, it's not writing because it's not connecting, but it is somewhat connecting. But no, it's not a permanent way of writing. So rabbinically, it's still permanent. So you cannot do this on Shabbos. The kids want to play and write with the water or the juice, whatever. Right? You get it? Kids like to play with snow. They walk down the street on Shabbos, there's cars. You walk over to a car and you can carve out in the snow on the window that can make letters. So you can't do that. That's writing. Rabbinically, it's called writing. Now, how about you want to take, these pretzels, these like long pretzels. You ever see these long pretzels? And you can make letters with them. Should have brought some pretzels in. Put a pretzel this way, that way, and you can make letters, shapes, and you put it on the table and you make, is that called writing? No, that's not a problem. Because with the water is connected to the table. It's not permanent, but it's touching the table, right? The pretzel or whatever you're using to put it on the table, it's not connecting, there's no connection. There's a table and there's a long piece going this way, that way, the other way. You get it? There's no connection. It has to be some type of connection. But the same is also we have with one of those games. I don't remember what it's called, but you put it into some type of game that you put the letter. I'll explain what it is and you'll figure out what it is. You take the letter is on a box, right? The letter is on a cubicle, a Scrabble, right? Okay. Scrabble. So it's like on a little, what is it called? A cube, there's a word for it.
Tile.
A tile, there's another word, okay. There's like a little thing that has a letter on it. Now, I want to take that, you know what I mean? That thing, there's another word for it. A tile with a letter on it. It's a little, now I put it down and I make letters and I'm putting it together, I'm putting words. Is that called writing?
No.
It's not called writing. This water is brought for me. So it's a fresh cup of water?
It is fresh.
It's fresh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also the other
Hmm?
one. There's another one.
There's also, well, this will be enough. So could you put letters next to each other like that? Well,
No.
You're making words, creating words.
There's Scrabble on Shabbos, that's my only.
Okay, so we have a proof that you're allowed to do it. Okay, so the answer is like this. Correct. If it does not, sometimes you have like a thing, it's, I don't know what it's called, it's something that holds it, that you put it inside and it holds it inside, then it's a problem. So it's connecting to something. But if you're just putting it on the table, then you're right, there's no problem. Same, was that one more thing? Same as also. Let's say you want to put it on the fridge. You have these little things that magnets. It's a letter on it with a button and put it on. That's going to be the same issue. It wouldn't be allowed because it's connecting to something. But if it's not connecting, then there's no problem. Yeah. Question?
When you have food on your plate and there's like sauce, and then you start like drawing things with your fork.
Yeah, exactly. Drawing with the sauce is a problem. If there's no intention involved, you're just not, in other words, it's not like you can't move it at all. If you intend to make a shape, a letter, it's an issue. But if you're just randomly going like that, it's like, hey, what are you doing? No, if you're intentionally trying to do something, then it becomes a rabbinic act. Okay? Does anyone want to volunteer to run downstairs and get the copies, Mrs. Yaffe? Yeah, thank you. Any other questions about writing? Right, and sometimes you have on the window gets fogged up, right? You could like to write in the fog. It's the same thing. You can't do that in Shabbos. Now, could you erase the fog? Yes.
Yeah.
Before it's a letter. Once you make letters out of it, then you can't. But before it's a letter, just the fog itself, you go like that. That's not. You're not erasing anything. It's just only if it's a letter. Yeah.
I don't know what is the name of the thing that we use for medication.
Syringe.
A syringe. A game? Did you say
Yeah,
a game?
syringe.
Syringe. For the baby, yes.
Oh, I think you said a game. Yeah.
When that is considered writing, it's considered that malacha writing because you measure the medicine.
It measures inside.
Yes. You measure the medicine. One day somebody told me that it's considered writing, that I can use the
Measuring is not writing. They said you can't measure. Like in the thing itself, it shows like how much, right, measurements.
Yeah.
There's like lines over there. So it's not writing, it's measuring. You're not allowed to measure. That's what they mean. But if it's for a purpose, if it's for a child that needs medication, then you're allowed. Because you have to know how much to give him.
Okay.
If I understand correctly, they're telling you about measuring. There's no writing over there, there's measuring.
And that is just
Writing, a syringe.
And then I have to. It's preferred if I give with the spoon and not with the.
Yeah, but if it needs to be for a child, you're allowed to. A child, if you need to know exactly how much to give, depends how important it is. If it's important to know exactly how much to give, then it's okay. but it's for a purpose. It's for a child. The child is sick. If you can do it without measuring, do it without measuring. Depends. Okay, so this is a test. We're using it as a review sheet. So I'll explain the questions. We go through it. Over here. Question 1. To allow, I'm going to read the questions, especially if some people are online here, we're listening in. The first question is, to allow brushing hair, there are conditions. And there is 3 conditions. And you have to choose from them, or maybe it's all the 3 conditions. And we'll soon give the answers. So those who are listening in will be able to hear the answers soon. If your nail is almost torn off, you may tear it off only. We don't mean chas v'shalom your whole nail. Okay, we mean the nail that when you cut your nails, okay? Because it can mean different, yeah? Your nail is almost torn off. You may tear it off only. So now there are conditions that you're allowed to tear it off on Shabbos only under certain conditions. Now, I think there is a correction over here. Instead of, okay, so, well, you can figure it out yourself. By 3, it says A and B, you write 1 and 2.
By A and B? Oh.
By 3, instead of A and B, it's A and B, I mean 1 and 2.
By 3.
3 and 4. No. Question 2.
Okay.
Question 2. So in the choice of 3 and 4, I wrote A and B, just put in 1 and 2. Now we have true and false. Cherries can be used for makeup, and it's a true or false. And 4, I think, is very clear. It's true or false. 5, to tie a challah bag, there are conditions. And you have to choose if it's 1, 2, or all the above. And 6 is, are you allowed to tie a double knot with the conditions that we discussed previously? You're going to circle the correct ones. It's 1, 2, or 3. Or it can be 1 and 2. Okay, let me just read through it to make sure we have this clear. 6. Are you allowed to tie a double knot with conditions? 1 is tie it loose. 2, apply to tie it in less than, okay, there's a typo there, in less than 24 hours. 3, you need both of the above conditions. Okay, when we go through it, we'll explain it. What's an example of taifer, the example of sewing? I think the rest of the questions are clear. Okay, so let's just do this side. I'll give you like, how much time you need? Like 5 minutes, 6 minutes? Yeah, you'll do just this side, and then we'll read it together. So you can all hear the answers.
For question 7, we're supposed to give an example of what would be like a malacha.
In question what?
7.
Yes.
So
What's a practical example? We're talking about the malacha. You can't sew on Shabbos, right? Explain 7. I'm asking 7. What's an example of the malacha of sewing? Everyone knows what sewing means, but there's other examples of sewing that it's not necessarily what we call sewing in English. There's other acts that one can do it, that if one does that in Shabbos, even though in English it's not called, hey, how do you like, that's such a nice way of sewing things. It's not called sewing, but in terms of transgressing Shabbos, it goes to the category of sewing, right? Get what I'm saying? So there's other things that the person can do on Shabbos, meaning he's not allowed to do, but if he does it, hey, that's the malach of sewing. You don't call it sewing in English, but that's the prohibition of sewing, because it's the same idea like sewing. We gave different examples, what's called sewing.
Did we go over,
You could do it together if you want to join together with anyone, and
did we go over question 13? The fog one?
question.
13. Did we do conflict?
No, we did not. We did, yeah, we spoke about, we spoke. The only thing we didn't do, even 14 we did. We didn't do 12. 12 we didn't do. But other than that, we did everything.
If there's less. Oh.
Uh-huh, exactly.
Breaks. And what song is it? And it's like. Just comfortable. But yes, I'm doing that. And it's good. You did that.
We're just doing the first page?
We can do both.
Are we-
Only one,
are we doing the
well,
whole thing?
my idea of doing the first page was to break it up. It's not such a big break, so, you know, then, but if you have time, do the other side also.
Okay.
Shaking dust off, but there's no. That's like. You can do it.
Question 12 is asking what
Yeah, we
malacha you would
discussed
be
that.
transgressing.
What is the prohibition? Using cream, what can be the malacha of using cream?
Oh,
And
And it's not about using medicine in Shabbos, it's nothing to do with medicine.
you're right. It's
No, it's not about, don't say, yeah, but no, we're not discussing, not every cream is medicine. Talking about just the cream, and some medicines are okay. Talking about just the act of using the cream, what could be the malacha of using cream? We didn't discuss it, so don't worry about it, we'll do it. Yep. We don't have that much time anyway, so.
I think yes. And I also put stuff, but I want not to, yeah. And then the example of something that I put is like. When we put it in what's it? Yeah. I put here is. Yeah.
Yes.
It's unrelated, but so if I'm not going to shul on Shabbos, sick or whatever, I wanna stay home, should I read that? Like, I read that stuff, should I recite the
Did you say the Haftarah?
You know, when like.
the blessing on the,
Like, there's wood.
you know, the blessing before?
The blessing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bracha that they say,
Because it,
Should you say the bracha?
he said,
yeah,
it's fine to pull it out.
That's, do you say it in Shul?
No, I say amen on Shabbos. So it says it's the amen.
But you don't say it in shul.
So I don't say,
Of course not.
oh,
The
I just
blessing.
say, I just read
The
that.
blessing. You don't have to read up Torah. You could if you want, but it's these are blessings in vain if you say it. No one says it in shul. Only those who are called up to the Torah say it. It's a blessing in vain.
Thank you. Yeah, I do read after, but of course.
What?
Of course I read after, even if I'm not going to shul. It's a must.
You don't. I'm saying you don't have to. You could. It's not an obligation. If you want to do it, yeah, good. Okay. Do you want more time to do it together? No?
Yeah.
What? You do one more time for yourself?
Oh, no.
No, but they're still studying. Give another few minutes for them. Why don't you do it together?
Oh, but I think we finished, no?
Yeah.
Did you finish?
Yeah, I finished.
Yes, it's false. Yes, it's false.
Okay, I'm gonna wait a few minutes because they're still doing it. So if you want to team up together, it's up to you.
Oh, but I think that's ours.
No, just discuss. You can review it together if you want. Just giving you giving a suggestion. So if you want to review together with your
Oh,
friend
sure.
back there, just waiting for them anyways.
There's others. Yeah, that's what they. It's just. None of us. There's not also the fault, so they get for it. You know, you have little kids and like. You can ruin this. Oh, well, yeah, I guess if you guys. No, I don't. It makes sense. Yeah, I was just. I literally found the same. Really? Yes. You're literally not doing. It's almost as. And then.
Okay, ready?
That's what I. It could be wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Hey, do you want to review together?
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're very excited.
Rabbi
Okay.
Osdoba, can we have a test?
It says test on it.
No, but a real test.
Yeah, I think you're like the only one who wants a test.
No, it was a test.
Really?
Yes.
I like tests.
But can you
Really?
tell us in advance so that we can study for it?
Like a real test with marks and everything?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let me see. I have to find time to put together a test.
Oh, well, I
I
mean.
don't want to promise. I'll try if I could put something together. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so questions. So now brushing here, there are conditions. What are the conditions? So you need all the conditions. A soft brush, don't do it vigorously, and it should be designated for Shabbos. I already suggested to you, buy a brush, use it during the week, and see if it's going to pull out here. We also said you should make sure you don't have any loose hair before you use it, because you might be pulling out loose hair, and then you're not really pulling out hair, because they could have loose hair also. So you have to be aware of all those things. Test it before Shabbos, and you'll know if this brush is good for Shabbos. If your nail is almost torn off, means most of it is torn off, the way to tear it off, you're allowed to do it, is which conditions do you need?
Both for sure, but I wasn't sure about, like, if you didn't
What
realize.
did you say? Which one do you need?
I said both, doing it by hand.
And if it hurts a lot, correct.
Also, if you didn't realize before Shabbos, right?
Yeah,
It's like-
I wasn't sure about that.
Do you need it for it? Only if you didn't realize before Shabbos? What if you realize, what is it? No, this one is just to confuse you. What do you mean you didn't realize that you knew about it, but you said it really hurts me, but let it hurt and I'll do it on Shabbos?
Yes.
No, that's not, person doesn't do that usually. You realize before Shabbos, you're aware that, what do you mean you realize? You realize before Shabbos that most of it is off. And hello, what you could have done before Shabbos? Okay, so you didn't. It doesn't make it prohibited, so you weren't in so much pain. That's why, obviously, if you didn't do it before Shabbos, then let's say most of it was off. It means you weren't in so much pain now. Then, now you are in a lot of pain. So it doesn't say because it was off before, because you could have done it before Shabbos. Doesn't say such a thing. So it's only to confuse you. Yeah. Did?
Yeah.
Okay, so it worked. Sure. 3, cherries can't be used for makeup. True or false? False. 4, shaking dust off a garment is mutter if it really bothers you and you have dust in a garment, then you're allowed to shake it off. True or false? False. To tie a challah bag, there are conditions. Now we're talking about they actually tying it, as I showed you. You don't have a bag here today. Talking about actually tying it, right? Tying it means you're going like this, and you're going tying it. Yeah, that's called tying. What are the conditions? Conditions are, first one is it's not a strong knot, and you plan to untie it in less than 24 hours. Right? You understand what a strong knot means? That it's very hard to untie. So last time I didn't have it, so now I could show you. I'm gonna make a strong knot.
Oh, wow. Good luck.
You Please take a look at it. You see it's strong?
It's very strong.
That's right. So that you can't do on Shabbos. Even if you do it Friday night, you're gonna untie Shabbos morning. You can't do it because it's a strong knot. In other words, it's hard. It's going to be, you could untie, but it's going to be difficult. And maybe even if it's not as strong, I mean, it may be a little. In other words, if it requires effort, you see what I'm saying? It could be even if it's not as strong as I made it, it could be also an issue. In other words, if you have to work on it, so you make it in a way where it's easy to open. 6, is it mutter to tie a double? Is it mutter to tie a double knot with conditions? You're going to use the condition with conditions, as we discussed before. No. There's different conditions. Is it mutter to tie a double knot with conditions? So what are the correct answers? I'm trying the correct ones. What are the conditions? You have to tie it loose. So if you make a double knot that's loose, not strong, and you plan to untie it in less than 24 hours.
But I thought it was in that category of like craftsman.
A double knot,
Yeah,
it depends only if it's a strong. If it's loose, it's so strong you can apply it to show you anything else. It's only if it's a strong knot. If it's a loose double knot, then it's the same like a regular knot, like the one I showed you before. That's easy to take apart. So let's say you go once, twice, but it's loose. You can very easily untie it. Just instead of going once, you're gonna go twice like this, because you have to pull once, pull twice. But if it's loose, that's the same like a regular knot. That's not a strong knot.
Okay.
An example of a Tefer sewing. What's an example of Tefer?
closing diapers.
Okay, so that closing diapers is no, opening diapers. Closing diapers is not a problem.
I thought if you're gonna throw it out, like if.
What do you want me to throw it out?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, good.
Together.
Yeah, gluing things, stapling, yeah. 8. Trapping a bee with a cup is definitely permitted.
False.
Is it definitely true? I'm saying I'm sorry, is it definitely prohibited?
Well, if somebody's allergic, like.
Right, that's why I wrote it's a frig. It's not definitely prohibited, but it's not definitely permitted.
It's a trick.
It can be permitted in cases if someone has an allergic reaction. And there are opinions that say you're allowed to do it if you're afraid you're gonna get bitten by it. The Alter Rebbe, I said the Alter Rebbe, it seems that it's prohibited. If it's just a concern of getting a bite from a bee and you're gonna be in pain and there's no danger, according to Alter Rebbe, it seems you're not allowed to put a cup over it. You could, like that, so you take a towel and just, what do you call it, like, just
And you can't kill.
send it
them, right?
away, but of course you can't kill. But with a towel, you could like push it away
That
down.
might make it angry.
Hmm?
That might make it angrier if you do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get, sometimes they fly back.
Yeah, they're
if you do that,
feisty.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Right, okay, just be careful. Just that, it could be, I mean, my experience never had that. Usually you show it away and it goes. But I'm thinking now it could be an issue of muktzah, because if you're going the towel against it, you're hitting the bee.
Wow.
But the question, are you really hitting it, or the time it already feels the pressure and it moves away? I don't think you're actually hitting the bee, because as soon as the bee feels the pressure, the bee moves very fast. So I don't think it's for sure that you're going to be moving the bee. So I think it's going to be fine. So another few. No, it's always usher to pull out a splinter on Shabbos because it might bleed. True or false? False, because if you're careful, you can do it. 10. Putting salt on raw vegetables is mutter permitted if you pour oil on it afterwards.
True.
What about putting salt on cooked vegetables? Is that okay?
Yes.
It's okay, because salt doesn't do anything to it.
Mhm.
Okay, a little bit more. Oh, it's over here. I just gotta put it on. Yes, I just said it's an 11. It's always usher, it's false. No, this cooked meat and eggs. I'm sorry. That's cooked vegetables. No, something else. 1. 11. Putting salt on cooked meat and eggs is always prohibited.
False.
It's not always prohibited. Is it permitted?
Yes.
It's always permitted to put salt on cooked meat and cooked eggs.
Yeah.
It's always permitted.
Yes.
Is there a time that it's prohibited? A situation that's prohibited?
Far ahead.
Correct. If you're putting it, we said, so generally you're allowed to put salt on cooked meat and eggs, but if you're doing it for an extended period of time, let's say you're doing it in the morning for the afternoon, the Alter Rebbe says you should not do it.
Oh.
Because for a long period of time, then it has the time to really get into it and it's doing something to it, then you should not. But then the Alter Rebbe says, But if it's gonna benefit the food, it's gonna be tastier, then you could be lenient. So it
Even-
goes like this and it goes back the other way, it goes back and forth.
Even if it's for later?
Correct. In other words, if there's no advantage other than, okay, I have time to do now, I'm gonna do now, don't do it. But if it's gonna make the food tastier, then actually you're allowed. It's interesting, you would think the opposite, it's tastier, it's gonna accomplish more, but I guess it's only astringency, so if there's an accomplishment, it's for the, covered Shabbos, it's gonna taste better, then you could be lenient. Yeah, you understand? Okay, so let's skip 12 because we're running out of time. We'll do that another time. We'll just do 13 and 14, what we're familiar with. 13. When is it prohibited to wipe the fog from the window?
When there are letters.
If there's words, right? Letters. Letters. It's not about words, it's about letters. Even one letter. 14. If there's a fire, that's definitely not Sakanas Nefashos. Okay, so that's the question. The situation is it's a fire and it's for sure there's no danger of life. So don't bring up any issues. Well, danger, let's say you know for sure there's no danger. Okay. Now we're saying should be a comma after the word Sakanas Nefashos. Now we're saying one is allowed. This is true or false. We're saying one is allowed to pour colored water like soda or apple juice around the fire. And we are discussing here now, I have to clarify, we're discussing here that you're putting it on, there's a tablecloth, that you're wetting the tablecloth. That's a discussion. If there's no tablecloth here, then you can pour anything. Discussing there's a tablecloth, so I'm saying specifically colored water and apple juice, you could pour around the fire, as opposed to water. Is that true or false?
Yes.
True. Good.
Yay.
Okay, excellent.
Good.
Yeah.
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 5.
It's a 5.
Yeah.
We don't usually use the 5 rating system in America. That's why I was like, oh, what's the key? Everyone gets an
Can anyone be able to?
Yeah, sure.
So no, like, always good.
Hi.
Hi.
And also, if you're able to tell the feedbacks. That would be great. Oh, no, I didn't get it.